First of all, welcome to the new initiative from Stir Fry MBA. It is called as The Circle. And I will start right away. First of all, really thank you for coming on board for this interview. My first question is very simple in terms of what is happiness for you? And in terms of happiness, specifically when you are dealing with the social sector, you are a social entrepreneur, how would you define happiness?
I think, we as different people, everybody has a different definition of happiness, And for me, happiness is waking up every day and feeling excited, to do the kind of work that I'm doing. For me, happiness is looking at what you have created, in your mind come to life. That is, I think, for me, it's not aesthetic. You don't go, oh my God, and you're happy, you're laughing. For me, that's not happiness. When we see somebody laughing, we say he's a happy man or he's a happy person. But for me, that is not happiness. For me, with time, as I'm getting a little older, I've turned 23, not that old, but I think the wiser I'm becoming. For me, I'm not looking out for a moment of happiness where it's just like, let me have it, let me, maybe achieve this or, get this car or this, then I'll be happy. People chase that a lot, especially in my age. I see a lot of people doing that, and I asked them why they want to do it, and they said, that makes me happy. I want to get that job. I want to reach there. I want to visit this country, and then I'll feel happy. For me, I think the time that I'm spending with myself, on myself, and knowing myself, this definition of happiness is turning out to be something else. For me, it is becoming a constant feeling of being okay and satisfied and just at peace. For me, that is, a happiness which I can actually keep for a very long time. So it's getting deeper, and for me, it is every day. It's turning out to be a different reason to be grateful and to be happy. So
do you have any materialistic goals then, or you don't have
goals? So the thing is, that is what. But I really actually don't have any of those. Which, there's a person who asked me, I remember I was about 19 years old at that time. And I remember I just started Sarvani at that time. And this one person came to me and he asked me, what are your plans? And I was like, I don't know. And he said, you know what, this is what most people do wrong. And I said, okay, you need to have plans. And he's told me, you go home, take a piece of paper and write down stuff that you think you need to achieve in next 5 years. And that is your goal to be. So I thought about it and I thought, no, that's not something I want to do, because I thought if I don't achieve those goals, then I will not be happy and I feel like a failure. If I do, I am pretty sure I will put myself in a box. Okay. I think when you restrict yourself, if you take a goal, you should have a vision, I believe. That, I think with MadeCraft and Sarvani, I have a vision that, this is I wish to do and I want to do. But I never set a goal. Nothing. I don't have one, sir. It's just I am thinking of one that I want to have. Maybe I want to have a good house one day, which I can call my own. But that is not even something, sir, I'm crazy about. It is going away. Every day, sir, I work with, we have 120 students now in Sarvani Pathshala. And 6 days a week, these children come to my house and they study. And I look at them and I see that these children come from families where they have nothing. There are 7 to 8 or 9 people living in one room, with small room. And they have the kitchen even inside the room. And their mothers are working, their fathers are working. And I see they still are happy, sir. And I look at people who are driving Mercedes and they have everything in the world and they're miserable. And I was on a panel one day and somebody asked me, you want to cry in a Maruti or you want to cry in a Mercedes? I answered that person, I don't want to cry. That is not my goal. Why should I choose to cry? I would not even choose to cry in a Mercedes or in a Maruti, why I think the idea is basically you have to cry, then you better cry in the Mercedes. But I think I would rather choose a life on the road with no Mercedes or Maruti and still be happy. So
Beautiful. So, what are the kind of challenges that you see in your, which you want to address as of now? I mean, the last time I did the interview on stir fry, and now, what are the new challenges you are seeing in Sarvani, or the other initiative that you have started of making, what is it called, art or craft,
women made craft. So it's women made craft.
Yeah.
Yes.
So what are the challenges, and how do you see? If on one side you're saying you don't have a goal, but I also see that you want to make people happy. That's your goal.
No, sir, that is not even my goal.
Okay.
When people say, that you want to make people happy. One thing, sir, I realized very early is that you cannot make everybody happy.
Okay.
And if you are in social work, for say, or any work where you want to work for somebody else, then you're miserable.
Okay.
And I know so many people come into social activism thinking that I'm going to make somebody else happy, or people will praise me. If you have put it another way, that you will be, because people will be happy, people will praise you a lot. So now that I'm sitting in this interview, in last 1.5 years, a lot of interviews has come, but I've been working since 18. No interview was there. Nobody even came to pat my back. My even family told me that this is waste of your time, your career and your life. You better, if you want to become something, my father told me very straight away, if you want to do social work, go become an IAS officer. Don't waste your time here. You will become a dharna person who will go and do dharnas. And so if you're doing it to make people happy, you will fall out of that bubble in the first 6 months only. So you will leave it. So if this is your idea that, I will please everybody around me because I'm doing such, no. If you want to do this, you should feel that you want to do this. You do it for yourself, because if you will like it, you will continue doing it without asking for somebody to praise you or somebody to, reward you. You will like, nobody tells you to go watch a Netflix series in one day. Nobody tells you to wake up 6 in the morning because you want to go play cricket with your friends. Nobody tells you to do that thing. You do it on your free will. And if you're doing something which you're passionate about, you're crazy about, nobody needs to tell you. Nobody needs to be happy around you for you to do that. And so that is something which I realized, the reason I continued with it, because I never felt like that I'm doing this because people will like me for it. I felt it. I think, there are things that you choose, sir, and I think this is just chose me, sir. I still wonder that in Sarvani we recruited 125 girls, in the first batch, and I was one of the youngest people there. And I still wonder that why nobody questioned that why Drishti is the person who's leading this. And I still wonder that I don't think so. I'm still capable, to represent it. I think I have a lot of work that requires for me to become the leader that Sarvani deserves. And I wonder that why I was, why people chose me or why people showed faith in me. So sometimes I have a doubt. And then I think that this is something that it chose me. It came to me. And all I had to do was accept it and embrace it to my capacity. And that's what I've done. And I'll tell you, if making people happy makes you happy, then do that. If making food and making people eat your food makes you happy, you become a chef, open a restaurant, do that. But don't think that, you will do this and then people will love you and then you can be happy. That is, you will become very miserable in that situation. So
Drishti, in terms of the corporate world, talks a lot about this work-life balance. In your social entrepreneurial journey, how do you actually look at that whole concept of work-life balance? And if so, how do you manage it?
So right now, I told you that I've turned 23 last month. It's been 10 days. So me right now,
birthday wishes.
Thank you so much, sir. So this has not occurred to me where I had to figure out different priorities. Of course, so for me, I have 2 babies right now. So I had one child, Sarvani, when I was like very young. So you don't balance it. It balance you. So it tells you what to do. And then when I had Women Made Craft, I feel like it's my second baby. I remember recently Women Made Craft got its first award. And the feeling that I had, and I told my mother because she was with me, I told her, Mama, now I know that you don't feel differently for your children. You feel equally happy. No matter how many, how many things you have done with your first child, it's equally exciting when you do it with your second child. And she was like, what the hell are you saying? I said, Mama, I thought Women Made Craft is going to be like my husband because, it's going to be because it's an enterprise. It's like a business that I want to push so that I can fund Sarvani and I can create a culture, where we can be sustainable. And I felt it's like my husband. Now I've realized that no, it's not, because it's not give and take. It's like my another child. It's like having two babies. And so now I am somebody who is very much, family oriented. I want to have a family 5 years down the line, get married and have everything, because I want those things in my life. So my idea is that, I work my ass off, if I can say, and work as much as possible in the early years of because I'm building something, so that when, I am at a place where I can, financially be enough stable to have my own family and works. And also I had the privilege of time, which I don't have right now. Coming and sitting for this interview is also like became a task for me because of the time management is a problem. But I want to see myself a little comfortable where I can, have people or which I can rely on to do certain stuff. So my idea planning is that I do what most I can do, and not compromising my health, so because I try to work out 6 days a week. It's for me, I go and talk to my friends. I call and tell them if something worries me at work. I'm somebody who cannot keep anything inside because it troubles me. So whenever I'm troubled, I like to call. I like to talk to people I love, and I'll tell them what is worrying me. And God has been kind to me. Whenever I talk, I find solutions, and always find solutions for them. So right now I'm able to balance it, touch wood, like very efficiently, if I say. But I know that as future, the more responsibilities will be coming my way as it grows. Right now it is not, it's in beginning, very, very beginning of the both the organizations. So I don't know, sir. I think only time will tell how will I manage it. But my plans are that, you make certain things to a capacity where they can work and function on their own. That is my, with the way I'm looking at it.
So last question, what will be your advice to people who look up to you and want to get into a similar kind of venture?
So anybody who, thank you if you're looking up to me. I'm thank you so much for that, because I'm praying and I wish that I can keep up with your expectations. But the thing, if you want to do something, first you have to identify that are you passionate about it, because it takes time for things to settle. It takes time for things to be successful. So I remember we started with 7 students, sir. And there were students who were like, we can't come, we won't come, and it's boring. And, we used to pull them, please come, please come. And then we have 120 students, and there are more children who wants to join, but we don't have the capacity for them to, be there. We have 6 teachers, 120 students. And there was a time where we had none of this, and I was the only one teaching, and we used to have just one help. So it takes time for things to build up. I know you have huge plans, but start small. If you can do small, then you are set up for bigger things. If you think, oh, I cannot do small, I just want to do big. I want to open up a school, or I want to teach 120 kids on the street. No, you have to start with one child, or anything you want to do, any small step. Start small, and first and the most important, are you really passionate about it? Because there will be time where you will have no support, you will feel
what is passion? Sorry to interrupt. What is passion? I mean, you keep saying passionate, so how do you define passion? What do you mean by passion according to you?
The passion is something that drives within you, sir. Nobody will tell you to do it, but you will still do it. Your own parents will tell you, don't do it, it's not good for you, but you will still do it. You will cry that the things are not happening, but you will never ever give up. And this, the people, I used to tell them about my feeling. I say, oh, this is passion. You're so passionate. So I use the word passion a lot. But so people ask me, in so many interviews, what is your motivation? I say, I don't need one. So with Sarvani is my, like, I say it's like a early teenage child now because it's grown enough. So it tells me that I want this. It doesn't even ask, can you do this? It's like, okay, you have to do this. And I show up for it. So my looking at the relationship that I had with my work is a lot different. And so I think if you're crazy about something that you will not, you can leave the world for it. That is your thing. And you have to find it. And people will say, I don't know what is it. And I think nobody knows. But you have to give
it. The things, Drishti, you have to sacrifice in terms of when you have to pursue such kind of venture. I mean, like a normal teenager or a young youth now, still you are very young. And in that sense, what are the things you sacrifice vis-a-vis your friends and other guys?
So I was never very social. So I had sacrificed, like, I never been to parties. So you'll never find me in a party. I never had a group of friends or huge friends. Okay. For me, I think I remember I used to go out like 4 or 5 times a year when somebody will force me, or I feel like, I'm working too much and I need to go on a lunch. So I had my friend, I used to call her and she used to say, okay, and then we plan it. So people call it sacrifice, sir. Because I was so much in love with what I do, I never wanted a vacation. And people don't believe that, people are like, you need vacation, no matter how much you love it. So you come and visit the Pathshala that we have now set up. So it's so much love that I don't, people go to Maldives and people pay for the experience to feel good. And they said, I now have come thousands of kilometers, I have paid so much money. And now look at the view, I'm at peace. I get that every day of my life. I get that experience every day. And why would I want to go on a vacation from a vacation? So God has been so kind to me that it's, I can't even explain it. And I'm so grateful. And I don't know what will happen in future, sir. I don't know how long I will be able to do it, because you never know, sir. I never even thought when I started serving that something like this could be done, so I never thought. So I don't know what future will, bring with it. Maybe things would not be as good as it is now. But where I am, I am just grateful, sir. And I want to keep like these videos that you are like recording and be putting out as a reminder. So that even if 5 years, 10 years down the line, that I will feel that, life is not good or I'm feeling bad, I can just click and I can find that, this Drishti was really happy and she lived the life she wanted to, the way she wanted to. And I think that's what I'm doing, sir. One day at a time. That's what exactly it is.
Very, very profound, Drishti, for your age. Thank you very much for participating in my very first the circle session which I have. Thank you once again. Look forward to meeting.
Thank you so much, sir. All the best. I wish this venture of yours is very successful. All the best. And thank you for having me, sir. Thank you.